Is that the first blank ever?
Can't remember doing it before. Not in 30 years.
Morning. How are we doing? It's a bit fresh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.
Come on, let's have a go.
Go on, go.
B24.
B24, top of the shop.
What you got? What's that side?
B24. I didn't even know there was a B24.
Well, I told him points in last week.
Is that right round, is it?
Shit.
Where is it?
Okay, draw is done. B24, not where I wanted to be. Back on the B bank. Different this week, so there's a prize on B bank. So normally it's obviously paid out as an overall match, but that bank over there, the A bank, is so dominant that they've started paying the winner overall and then winner of A bank and winner of B bank. So the A peg start on that point, and that where the cones are, that's the favoured peg, but as you can see that's that one A18 and 15 over there, where the fish are at the moment, in that wide bit deeper and wider. There's a bit of ice on it, as you can see, but my peg is quite narrow. Bit of space here, Phil's on the next peg, last week's winner, and obviously the anglers are spread out around the lake. There's about 13 or 14 anglers here this week, so nice turnout. So let's get some kit out and see what we can do.
Bait for this session is quite simple. Got myself a loaf of bread. Can't go carp fishing this time of year without some good old-fashioned bread. I'm going to pop this up, probably 2 or 3 discs of bread on a hair. Hopefully if we find some carp, this will do the trick. However, it's not always a bomb and bread day, and you might need to fish a bait on the bottom, and I've got 2 options for that. Jolly Green Giant and Spam. Now, bomb and corn is probably my favourite winter approach. I've caught so many fish on this over the years. 1 grain of corn chucked out to where the fish are can do absolute wonders for your session. But sometimes you need something with a bit more smell if the water's got a bit of a tinge in it, and Spam can be brilliant. Now, this is one that my good friend Adam Richards put me onto a few years ago. Fishing nice big punches of Spam can work really well. It's lovely and salty and it stinks. It's a nice colour too, and I think it's quite visible to fish. So those are the 3 baits I'm going to consider for my bomb fishing. I've also got to consider a feeder at some stage in a match. It might be the second half of the match, it might be the last hour, maybe the fish are on the feed, and I might be able to chuck a feeder and maybe get a few bites. So I've done some expanders for the hook. I've also got some wafters in my bag, and I'm going to do up some fishery pellets, probably around a pint of fishery pellets, and probably chuck most of them away. But that's all I'm going to use. I've got my baits for the bomb, and I've got my baits for the feeder. That's all we're going to take. 1 rod, that's all we're setting up on this peg. So yeah, I've gone with an ICS bomb, see that? To start with, 15 grams. And obviously I can swap that for I've got a little back box of bits and pieces here. There's lots of different feeders and options to try on it. Might give that little beauty a try at some point. Might even chuck that down the middle, try and catch a skimmer maybe. But it's so cold, like that end of the pool's frozen. But yeah, I'm going to start on bread, close to the island. Got 017 and a 12 QM1 on there. Nice and sharp, nice long hair. And then on the reel we've got £6 new fish detection. Brand new line from us. Coming very, very soon, so you'll be able to get your hands on that very soon. Look at that on the spool, looks beautiful, doesn't it? Nice and dark. Absolute winner. Yeah. Not seen any fish move, I've just seen a little roach or something tucked down there. I've not actually got that much scope here, but I'm just going to be nice and patient next to that island, and you never know. If we can catch 2 carp and a couple of skimmers off this peg, I think we'll be doing well. And we might win a bit of coin, because this bank is notoriously difficult. So you just never know. We'll give it a go. But there the pegs where all the action will be, from this chap right the way around to Finn, who's on A11. We'll be in amongst a few fish probably still, so we'll give it a go. We'll keep our eyes peeled. We're looking out for signs of fish. If I can see one bubble or
2 bubbles just pop up or a little fish break the surface or something, it'll give me a bit of a clue as to where to start, but I've not seen anything yet. But that doesn't mean we're not going to catch some at some point in this day, so fingers crossed. We're fishing definitely for the B-bank prize today, which does give me a glimmer of hope. So I've also got a bay here. I don't think they'll come into it, but I've got to think about maybe loose feeding some corn. I keep thinking about that. And Robin here, look at me, landing it on there. Very nice. He's obviously hungry. We'll get him some bait out in a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna not feed anything for 2 hours. Just chuck a little bomb around. Just see if we can nick a fish. Like I say, we're trying to catch 2 carp. 1 carp was caught on this peg last week, so if we can catch, we can get 1 first, but if we can catch 2 and 3 or 4 skimmers late on, well, I'm gonna loose feed corn somewhere. I'll probably loose feed it. That might be a fish move there. It might just be the ripples from that chap, but yeah, I'm going to feed it somewhere. I'll pick a spot where I think that I've got a chance of maybe some skimmers turning up. We'll see. Might be in line with them trees there. It might be quite a nice spot to do it. Yeah. I've set up. It's not even. It's taken me 10 minutes to set up because I'm on the rest of the box. Very comfy, I must say. The water's freezing on my side. Rod there. Got my bag of goodies here. Got my bait. Beautiful. Let's get going. Right. Almost time to get going. We'll start on 2 bits of bread. Each down. Hopefully. We might be one kicking out on first chuck, but I think it's going to be a bit of a long day. We're just using like a quick stop, or loads of brands do them, rapid stops, quick stops, speed stops, unbelievably fast stops, not so fast stops. Anyway, whatever brand you choose, that's all we need. Notice I've got a bit of distance between the piece of bread and the hook, obviously to allow the bread to expand. If I wanted to put more bread on, obviously I'd make a longer hair. It's important just to give yourself a bit of room for that bread to swell up. And I'm going to try and, I've not clipped up, I've not made a cast or anything. I don't want to, if there's 1 carp there, I don't want to spook it, so I've not made any casts. Interesting, the rod I'm using, it's a 1011 Arity. Beautiful bit of kit this. 1 ounce tip in it. Just a beautiful rod, and then I use a magnitude reel, like I say, with that new line on it. I just use the 520 ones for everything. And I can't say they've ever let me look at the line light on that, it's beautiful. I can't say they've ever let me down, these reels. Got some Centris as well, which are getting for 7 years old now, and they're still going. So I can't fault the old Western reels, to be fair. Time. Away it begins. Just going to get it perfectly set. A little bit of tension on the stick, not much. Right. 5 hours, I've been the most patient man on the bank. All the time, just even though I'm fishing very static, I'm looking for signs of life. I've not seen a fish move apart from a roach down this side. To be fair, I'm not seeing one on that bank either. It might just be a bubble or something. Gives them away, so. Now then, I'm going to set another one for 5 minutes because there's no point really chucking it if No signs or anything, so might as well leave it in a bit longer. So the lad to my left's had 3 casts now, and the lad Phil to my right's had 5 casts now. I've had 1. It could be argued that I'm not searching my swim, but I haven't got a lot of swim. Like if you look from the end of the lake, that line's like a bit of a point. Although it looks flat in front of me, it's not. So I haven't got that much water to explore. Like Paul's coming that way, Chap's going that way, so I've got a very small peg. So I've got to be careful. But I've spent 25 minutes in this area, so I can comfortably maybe chuck a bit more to the left next time. Right, let's just have a little cast. More bits of bread. Out we go. That's a last one. That's celebrity man. Mr. Ringer is on the phone. He's on a different part of Makins doing a feature. I'm going to chuck the meat next. Send out next. Blimey. Absolute favourite of mine. Nice big piece, size 12 hook. Nice and visual, nice and smelly, nice and salty. Great hook bait. Big rock. Well, so that big drop back there. Nothing. So I'm going to send out the meat. got here? Felt like I was wearing some tackle or something then. That was weird. That was so weird. I felt like I was over someone's kit or something. There's some fish moving, like Phil's just that bottom. Obviously I've just had that weird occurrence on some lines. I'm just seeing the chap on A15 get a big line and strike, so he must have thought like it was gonna be on. I think there's an odd fish starting to move. So just over an hour in. We've picked a day to do this, I've got to say. There's not a lot being caught. Phil has had a carp. I've seen a skimmer caught down there, and I've not seen a fish caught on the A bank, which is unusual. I've had that one weird occurrence where I chucked in, he's gone straight round, like I was on something. I thought I was snagged, and then the rods continued to go around, and I reeled it back to the net, and it just come off, and it was, I seen a bit of line. Hang on, let me just plug you back in just in case it goes around. Yeah, it's not been riveting. I guess it was never gonna be because it's so cold. But we are working through it. There's a line. Go on. Hang on. Drop that a little bit short. Not as many liners, but we've actually had a fight. very welcome. I still hope I can. Well, that was a surprise. I'm getting them liners. Had that one weird occurrence where I hooked that line, getting liners, just dropped it a little bit short and round it went after about 10 minutes into the cast. I just made that switch to meat rather than bread. Whether that made a difference, who knows, but I've just got a lot of confidence in that bait, so there's a few fish starting to come out now. I think Finn's just got one on, actually. Seen Phil to my right's got one, chap up there's got two, I've got one, and I think Finn's got one. Maybe not actually. It's a bit of a war of attrition, but it's still interesting fishing, this single hook bait fishing, because there's definitely good ways and bad ways of doing it. No, Finn hasn't got one. Good ways and bad ways of doing it. I feel like I'm stacking the odds in my favour at the moment. Been very patient, and it, fingers crossed, it pays off when we get another 3 or 4 pulls. It's so interesting just forcing yourself to only have one rod, because I know if I had my pole and stuff set up, I'd be on the pole by now. I know I would. The only thing I think that would have worked on this swim though today would have been a waggler, because it's calm, the wind's off my back. I think I could have chucked a waggler and corn maybe around that island, nice and light and delicate, but you never know. Might have been a waste of time, so let's just plug around that. I've not fed any corn or anything yet. I'm not feeling it actually. I think just being patient on this is going to be the game, and I might just commit some corn to my right. For anyone interested, this is the bomb and meat sale. That's a size 12 Camasan animal, the PTFE version. Lovely hook, so sharp, that's been on all day, it's razor sharp still. Sticking fingers there. And I've got the meat, which I punch it out with one of them. I've been using an 8mm or a 10mm, and I sort of just trim it down to size. And for those who haven't seen a quick stop before, you've got a quick stop there which is permanently attached to your hair, and all you do, you get a little needle and shove it in that little quick stop like that, so it's on the needle. That's the meat, the stop through the meat all the way through, slide the needle out, see the quick stop there, that folds, pull it in, and you've got a lovely hook bait. So the hook's just there right next to the meat, absolutely perfect. Lovely way to fish that is, and yeah, nice and simple stuff really. I tie that up on 017 reflow power line, and I like a relatively long rig, especially in clear water like this, because I do think that sometimes watch it coming down. Whether that's the case I don't know, but it gives me confidence. And it's the same if you're using corn or bread. same setup when it comes to using the old quick stop, so very nice too. Lovely little setup that is. And this is sometimes the cost of filming a live match. I decided to move the camera to try and make it a bit more interesting, and I got a bite as I was doing so, and it fell off. Absolutely wounded. Got up to move my GoPro position after just receiving a liner. As I'm setting my GoPro up on my little bank stick behind me, I've looked down and my rod's getting towed in. So I got to my rod sort of 10 seconds after the bite. Fish was on for a few seconds and come off. On a day where 3, 4, 5 fish is gonna win, you don't want that kind of stuff to happen, which is very frustrating. Gutted. Well, since the last update, I've tried slight to my right, because Phil to my right's had one and lost 2. But no signs. And back into my original spot where there was some signs earlier, and there's no signs there neither. I very much felt like this swim was a bit of a passing point, with it being so narrow, like the fish would be passing, and I think that's what's happened. I think there was obviously a few fish there to start with, hence why I was getting a few liners, and they've just moved out. It's so narrow here, it's one of the narrowest parts of the lake, and I just think whatever fish were here at the start have gone, sadly. I think he's had 4 down there, a bit of an end peg, and then I've had 1, Phil's had 1, and then John down at the other end had 2, so it's all to play for. I have started feeding that sweet corn because, like I say, I feel like the fish were here have gone, so I need to do something to try and make something happen. So I've picked a spot and just loose feeding corn, relatively aggressive, because I might as well. There's not a lot here anyway, so I might as well try it. You never know, I might catch an odd skimmer or something on it. So I've been feeding it now for about an hour-ish, 3/4 of an hour. Hopefully drop on it with like an hour to go or something like that, but very slow, and the lack of liners now is a bit of a worry, I've got to say. Someone's providing a bit of action for the video. Nice cut. Yep. Well done, that though. He's had 2 and lost 2. Chucking, I think. One off there. What's it on? Ain't looking good at all. dropped in where I'd loose fed a bit of corn. Nothing. I didn't really have any confidence in it, to be fair. I just thought, you never know, you might catch a bream or something, but maybe if I left it in 15 minutes, but the tip never even flickered. And I've just chucked back to the point towards the point of the island where I caught the carp. And I have one chuck there, and then I'm going to have my last chuck in front of me where I've had the most recent indications. So after a couple of hours I sort of felt like, oh, it's a little liner, tiny little pluck. Yeah, after a couple of hours I felt like maybe I'd get a couple more, but I don't think I will. Nope. A little indication there. It's the first sign I like I've had to the left for a couple of hours. Empty flask, sign of a bad day that. That's it, last chuck of the day. We're back on the rest, look. Covered in some weird liners, like really fast, like almost like roach jabbing at the bait, but they're not. Yeah, I just expected a bite this last hour, but it just hasn't come. But no one's catching anything, like literally no one from peg A7. John on A7's had a couple, and then Finn on A11's blanking, Gaz on. There's 1, 2, 5 blanks in a row, and it gets to me and I've caught one and obviously had some indications, and Phil's had 2, 1 and then 4 on the end. Hard day, no one's caught any skimmers or anything, so real tough day. Let's hope this last chuck goes round. Has anyone had a fish from Finn to you? You wouldn't believe that, would you? Time! Describe that as a, well, I think it'd be best to describe that as a bit of a non-event. I still thought I was going to, oh, bit of steamy. Still thought I was going to get one last chuck in. And I've just got an odd little liner again, just liquid ice to water at the moment. Freezing, and they're just not feeding. I've had 1, Phil's had 2. Chap Gaz next to him's had 1, then the chap past him's had 4 fish, but I don't know if they're all carp. And then no one from me round to Finn round there's caught one, not one. So it's been one of them days, really tough. But there you go, that's winter fishing for you. Get me back on that river chasing them chub, that's all I can say.